විරුද්ධ ඉවර වෙන්නේ.
දලදා වහන්සේට පහන ගැහුවේ පිළියන්න ආපහු මහමති කරනවාද කියලා මම අහන්නේ නැහැ.
පොලිසියත් ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ කිව්වා රෝහලත් ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ කිව්වා ඒ නිසා තමයි අපි බයට තමයි දඹුල් රෝහලට ගෙනල්ලා අපේ අය ඇඩ්මිට් කළේ.
A very good evening and welcome to a brand new edition of Weekend Primetime News. I'm Arundhati Mudanayaka. As always, let's start off with a look at the stories making headlines tonight. The 61st anniversary of the SLFP held under the auspices of the President in Kegol. The storage of the latest shipment of crude oil brought to the country delayed by 3 days. Opposition leader challenges to reveal the Eastern Province Chief Minister candidate of the alliance. The Sri Lanka Muslim Congress questions as to how the government will garner a mass support when the two powerful parties in the East are contesting separately. And now for the stories in detail. The Ministry of Petroleum Industries says that the storage of the latest shipment of crude oil brought to the country has been delayed by 3 days. The ministry says that urgent renovation work on a pipeline connecting a buoy at the Colombo harbour has caused this delay.
The Ministry of Petroleum Industries states that as a result of the urgent renovation work on the pipeline, operations at the Sapugaskanda refinery have also been suspended. Meanwhile, the petroleum trade unions recently warned that a fuel shortage could arise in the country in the near future. At present, the CPC's petrol reserves have reduced significantly. The reserves are at crisis level. Whether the ship comes in today or tomorrow, the fuel cannot be distributed instantly. However, the Ministry of Petroleum says that there is enough petrol, diesel, aviation fuel and kerosene oil to meet the country's requirement. The ministry says that a ship carrying 35,000 tons of petrol arrived in the country on the 29th of August, while another ship carrying 40,000 tons of diesel has also arrived in the country. The ministry noted that another ship carrying 135,000 tons of crude oil has also arrived in the country, adding that this oil would be distributed to the Sapugaskanda refinery as soon as renovation work on the pipeline is completed.
There were conversations going on in front of me. We have that tape. We have substantiated our claims.
Before taking a look at more local stories, let's take a look at the newspaper cartoon of the day. The 61st anniversary celebrations of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party was held at the Kegol Public Grounds today under the auspices of President Mahinda Rajapaksa.
It began this afternoon under the theme Rata Ekata Yamu Perata. Electorate organisers representing districts led the rallies of Sri Lanka Freedom Party supporters to the grounds. Subsequently, the President arrived at the grounds. Senior members of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party as well as party leaders of the alliance also attended the celebrations. I believe that all of you will dedicate yourselves to the task of ensuring that you follow in the path of the founders, the Bandanayakas and D.A. Rajapaksa, and guarantee the well-being of the people, the future of the next generation, make this country the centre of development, uplift this country. I also believe that you will take steps to give us the strength to tell the world that the steps we took were correct. I wish you all a bright future and may you receive the blessings of the Triple Gem. Four leaders in our party led not only the party but the country as well. They completed the task of making us a force in local and international politics. The history of the country will show that the Sri Lanka Freedom Party government has always been patriotic and has always protected this country.
Let's now take a look back at the Sri Lanka Freedom Party's 61-year journey.
The Sri Lanka Freedom Party was founded by SWRD Bandaranaike with the assistance of DA Rajapaksa on the 2nd of September 1951, uniting the five forces of Sangha, Veda, Guru, Govi and Kamkaru. After about a year's time, the SLFP became the main opposition party. In 1956, this party formed the Mahajana Eksat Peramuna along with a few other political parties. The party moved forward towards success and Bandaranaike was appointed the Prime Minister. A challenge was posed to the future of the party by the sudden assassination of SWRD Bandaranaike. Sirimavu Bandaranaike then came forward to take the responsibility of taking the party forward. She uplifted the party once again by providing it the honour of producing the first female Prime Minister in the world. During the years 1960, 65, 1970 and 1977, the party moved forward by becoming either the governing party or the main opposition party. Giving a new life to the party, which faced a number of challenges in 1977, the daughter of the two Bandaranaike Prime Ministers, Chandrika Bandaranaike Kumaratunga, became president in 1994. A new era began within the Sri Lanka Freedom Party after Mahinda Rajapaksa was elected as the president of the country in 2005. This leadership, which eradicated the terrorism of 30 years, which was holding back the development of the country, was able to strongly uplift the party. 61 years after its foundation, the Sri Lanka Freedom Party now holds a two-thirds majority in Parliament and is facing up to the challenge of making Sri Lanka the miracle of Asia.
Opposition leader Ranil Wickremesinghe questioned the United People's Freedom Alliance as to who would be the chief ministerial candidate for the Eastern Province. The opposition leader raised this question while addressing a meeting in Patiklo yesterday.
කපිලවත්තු ධාතුන් වහන්සේලා ගැන නේපාලය පිළිගන්නේ නැහැ ධාතුන් වහන්සේලා කියලා. අපේ කැබිනට්
Nepal has raised doubts about the authenticity of the Kapilavastu relics. Our cabinet has decided that the tooth relic which lies in Kandy is the tooth relic which is globally accepted and has proof of its historical value. Now, because I said this, I'm being yelled at since morning. I still want to ask the government if they are going to appoint Pilyan, who attacked the Sri Dalada temple, as the chief minister. I'm going to get scolded at the Sri Lanka Freedom Party convention. Even at this occasion, I would like to see if you would raise the issue, asking if they will reappoint the one who bombed this sacred temple as the chief minister, and if your main candidate for the position is Pilyan. Once this is done, then I will tell you the rest of the story.
Leader of the Sri Lanka Muslim Congress, Minister Rauf Hakim, states that the method in which the government is acting for the election is not the way a government should act. The minister expressed this view yesterday while attending a meeting in the Kathankudi area.
The Women's Summit of the Sri Lanka Muslim Congress was held in the Kathankudi area yesterday. This government was in power since '94, but no development was seen. It is only now that we see some sort of development. This is not the president's election or Hizbullah's election. This is the election of your province. This election is only necessary to and Sambandhan. We have no need for it. This election is being held to show the United Nations that the Tamil and the Muslim community is with these two people. They are asking why the Eastern Provincial Council was dissolved a year ago. Others say that this election is being held to show that the government has the support of the minority in the Eastern Province. I object this idea. The reason I say this is because the Sri Lanka Muslim Congress and the TNA are contesting the election separately. So how can the government have the support of the minority in the East when the strongest party of the Tamil and Muslim community is contesting against each other? What we see here is an indecisive political arena. I did not make any racist comments, but in reality it is my responsibility to explain the current situation. This is the area in which we are the strongest, so there is no issue in showing support towards them. But they should say it out in the open that we support them. The way this government is handling the elections is not appropriate.
அரசாங்கம் இன்றைக்கு இந்த தேர்தலில்
அவருடைய அணுகுமுறைகளில் இருக்கிற ஒரு அசிங்கத்தை நான் பார்க்கிறேன்.
Deputy Leader of the United National Party emphasizes that he will dedicate his life to protect free education in this country. He made this statement while addressing a meeting in Warakapala yesterday.
The meeting was organized to show support for the UNP candidates who are contesting for the Sabaragamu Provincial Council. Today, a national plan is being made to privatize the school system of the country, to prioritize the private school and to give luxury treatment for the private universities. This is a mass privatization of the country's education. At this time, I would like to say that when the elephant wins the upcoming elections, I would place my mark in blood that all in the United National Party will dedicate their lives to protect the free education system. UNP General Secretary Tissata Nayaka also addressed the meeting. Friends, these days SP Disanayaka, Maitripala and Dallas have issues. For close to 2 months, the lecturers have come out and asked SP Disanayaka to go home. On one side, there is the ZSCO issue. Not only did he mess up the entire ministry, he gets on stages and speaks nonsense. You can only make a phone call from a payphone that is seen at every junction once you insert money into it. SP Disanayaka is also like that. The more money, the more talking. I told him to come for a debate with me at any television station. He spoke about it, but he won't come. What I said was, let's debate about the false stories he said, insulting people. I said that I am ready for a debate at any time. Still, there is no response.
At a media briefing convened by the joint opposition in Colombo today, views were expressed about the election.
The Elections Commissioner, together with a group, has got onto the streets and have started to seal the bungalows of politicians breaching election laws. Taking this into account, it is evident that the Elections Commissioner has proved that this is a rigged election. As the opposition, we do not have any intention of accepting the result of this election, but we will go to polls.
කම්පියුටර් ජිල්මාත් කියන කතාව බොරු. මේ කම්පියුටර් ජිල්මාත් කියන කතාව වෙන මේක ජනතාවට කියන්න ඕනේ.
This story about false in computers is a complete lie. It is the government that is feeding the candidates with this lie. Because after they hear this and wake up on the 8th, they will think that there is no point in voting as these people will win. This lie has been created to create such a situation. The people in Colombo and Jaffna proved that the computer false story is a hoax.
මේ රටේ ඔප්පු කරා කොළඹ ජනතාවත් යාපනයේ ජනතාවත්